We join the super legit crew before the show as we get a surprise mini guest with our regular guest. Whose tail is wagging behind you?
It's
Zoe.
I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, I was like, I don't mean to pry, but there was a cute dog behind you, like scratching itself at the
important
table.
questions.
Yeah.
You said Zoe?
Zoe. This is Zoe. I have another one named Cody, but I think he's in the hallway. They might come in and out. They're pretty sleepy. They're old salty dogs.
We get dogs, we get cats, we get children. They all show up in here eventually.
No one talks about my wagging tail anymore.
I have never been in a Zoom meeting that was so big or so important that it didn't stop on a dime when somebody's dog walks in.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
It is. Yeah. The brief humanizing moments.
I was
It
having
happens
a meeting.
in life too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh yeah. I was having
That's
a
a
meeting
dog.
with one of my staff members in Greece, and it was like, I think, 7 p.m. for her and 9 a.m. for me, and like my cat walks across me and she's like, oh my God, and then we just bonded over cats. And then no business got conducted. It was just about cats.
I love that satellites were involved in making that moment happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
My old dog is snoring right next to me, and I would lift him up, but he's so old that I'm afraid if I wake him up, he's going to start to leak.
Yep.
And that's where Let Sleeping Dogs Lie comes from.
Yep.
There you go.
Let's let sleeping dogs stay drunk.
Yes. It's the Super Legit Podcast, everyone. I am your host, Jarrett Lennon Kaufman, a.k.a. Jett. And let's talk about who we've got on this week's episode. Our regular cast includes Josh Spence.
I'm really digging this no Michael Hyman business we're doing. It's fantastic.
Spoiler alert about our co-host. But we'll get there in a second. Sean Michael Boozer, welcome.
Well, hello, Jet. I am just tickled pink to be here. This is having such fun.
Oh, it's so good to see your lovely face. Stephen C. James.
Oh, Jed, I didn't see you there. Also, I wish I didn't have to see you at all. Again, heel turn for season 3.
Yes, committing to that bit, or is it a real thing?
It's not
I don't
a
know.
bit.
We'll find out at the end of the season if we're still talking. Chris Compton.
Please call me Mr. Chris Compton.
Oh, and that I will for the rest of the episode
no.
until I forget, which will probably happen really fast. And as was spoiled for you, we are missing our co-host again, Michael Hyman. Oh no, Josh,
Wow.
Not nice. We love Michael Hyman. Oh, wow. All right. That was a lot of cocked heads. I did not like that reaction on his behalf. I am outraged for him.
Miss you, buddy.
Someone has to be. So it falls on me to introduce our guest for this week, old friend of mine who we worked together ridiculously so long ago that I'm not going to say the number of years. I don't think either of us wants those numbers out there. Christine Lakin, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yay!
Thanks for having me. Yes, I'm 107 years old.
There
You
it
look
is.
great.
It's out
Do you
there.
moisturize? You look
I do.
incredible.
Definitely.
I like to
Yeah.
just, round up because then people are like, you look good, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, just play into it. Absolutely, own that. All right, well, let's get into this week's question for the cast. This one comes to us from listener Liberty Macarena, and the question is, what's the craziest thing you ever did to get out of trouble as a kid? I'm gonna stare at each and every one of you uncomfortably until somebody blinks. Yes, Steven.
I actually had a lot of trouble getting into trouble as a kid because I had an older brother who I always say I never had any rules when I was growing up because he broke them all beyond repair. So by the time it came around to me being the youngest, my parents were just like, just be home by Tuesday. It'll be fine. There was a time when my parents went to Bermuda on vacation, and they were not the kind of people who went on vacations, nor were they the kind of people who enjoy each other's company. So I was like, this is a rare opportunity for me to actually throw a party. So I threw a party at my house, and I used my mom's car that week that they were gone, and drove to places. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, oh wait, my parents don't know about this. It's a good thing they also don't know how to work podcasts. But at the party, a friend of mine, like all of my friends, were super boring, right? There's like another story where a cop like stopped us when we were all hanging out on the docks, and he opened up our cooler and it was filled with Diet Shasta. So all of my friends were like it was super low key. But I had this one friend who showed up, and he was drunk enough for everybody there. In like the, okay, well now this turned into managing this guy kind of part of the party. He elbowed like this knickknack that my mom had off of the table. Ooh. And it smashed onto the ground. And so the back half of that week was me going around to like every store at the mall to try to find where this knickknack had been purchased. So that way I could find its duplicate. And sure enough, I did. It was some little, like, one of those Texas lady craft stores with gingham on everything. And, like, someone had bought my mom a bell from this store. And I was just like, that one. I need that one. And no one was ever the wiser.
Okay, so here's what we do. It's very simple. It's a broken vase. It's my first broken vase, but it's fine. We'll get the pieces.
Hold up.
We'll
have we settled on vase? We're not going to say vase because why are we doing this? Why are we putting on
we're doing this by committee. We're the best friends. We're all together. Do we want to vote on vase? Can we
just call it a vase?
Is it technically an urn, though? I mean, like, it has that shape where it's kind of, like, bowled out a little bit?
Phil, I know it's an urn, okay? It's Kevin's dead grandmother in that urn, okay? But I feel better.
Not in it anymore.
I get it. I gotta
call it out.
I broke it.
I gotta call it out. All right.
I broke it.
So should we just take the dustbuster, then? Should we do that instead?
Yes.
I mean, that's more valuable, right?
Yeah.
Let's get the dustbuster.
Let's keep her in the dustbuster.
And here's what answers the question, guys. If we can't afford to buy a new one and we have to fix it, it's a vase. If we can afford a new one, it's a vase. Yeah.
That works.
It's all about price point.
Hey, I just want to, no one's going to throw anything in there about, like, we can't earn it, the money to pay for. All right, never mind. I'm sorry.
No one was going to say that.
Okay, so
no
back
one
to
was
the plan.
Say
okay,
that.
so we get the dustbuster, we dustbust grandma, we get the vase or the vase, depending on the pricing. All right, we go out to the desert. Okay, there's plenty of sand on the way to Vegas, and we just bury it, and nobody would know the difference, right? Because nobody knows what happens in the desert. That's what they say in Vegas, right?
I don't think they say
right. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So if we bring it to Vegas, we can't talk about it. That's the law, and none of us will get in trouble.
So we're essentially burying
Fight Club and like all sorts of things.
That's Fight
I'm
Club.
lost.
And this is like this is basically like burying dirt in other dirt. Like it's not like the actual person. It is
right.
Like
they
call them remains, by the way, which is like I'm not comfortable with. But,
like craisins or
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
They're creme-tastic.
Oh my god. Wait, cremains aren't made out of craisins? This is my first time hearing this. Thank you guys so much. That's why I never eat craisins. Thank you so much, guys.
Guys, I think we're getting a little off track here.
So when I'm opting for creamer instead of half and half, am I doing something gross?
Oh, yeah. Hey, wait, are we doing something gross with creamer?
I mean, most of it's pretty artificial, not good for you.
Yeah, I like to just drink the little creamers thing. I don't even do the coffee. it's like a good snack for before bed.
My question, I'm not drinking dead people when I put creamer. That's what I need.
Yes, that's what I'm also asking.
Not entirely, no.
Okay, not entirely. I can live with that.
The FDA has a limit on how much dead person's allowed in any food product, and it's not much. Yeah.
How much would you say?
Just a tip.
How much dead person?
I think it's less than 1%. I don't know.
Okay.
Not a lot. Not enough to matter.
If it's under 2%, they don't have to put it on the label.
Yeah.
I just real quick, I want to circle back to what Charlie said here about Fight Club. Like, once we do this,
I prefer not to talk about that.
The first rule is we don't talk about it. So when mom and dad get back,
and yet here we are.
We don't talk about it, okay?
We're talking about it now, dude. You are breaking
because
your own
mom and dad aren't
stated.
here.
Mom and dad. Listen. If a Fight Club fell down in the forest and mom and dad weren't there to hear it, the Fight Club still fell down. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's what a tattletale would say. Melvin the
tattletale. Whoa! Now we're just gonna start throwing around accusations and labels for people.
I said the quiet part loud. Melvin, what are you gonna do?
Guys, can we just calm it down here? All right, this is supposed to be a solemn occasion. where we figure out what to do with what's left of the corpse of his grandmother, okay? So can we everybody calm down? Nobody's going to punch each other in the fuzz, and we're just going to get done with this, okay?
Yeah.
Great.
And shouldn't we let Kevin weigh in most of all? Also, it's pronounced face. I couldn't let it go. I'm sorry. I wanted to let it go so hard.
I thought we couldn't get a new one.
I wanted to let it go so hard.
It is Vase. It's not like we're saying Kevon, okay? It's Kevin.
I mean, I kind of like Kevon.
I'm not calling you Kevon. You're
now
not,
that I've heard
you're
it,
Kevin. I've known you since kindergarten, okay? Since we adopted you. You're Kevin.
What if he becomes expensive? Are we being Kevon?
Yeah. Right.
I think we can call him Kevon.
My value could go up.
If Kevon wanted to change his pronouns, we'd honor that. But we can't honor calling him Kevon.
Okay, well, Charlie is.
You're really close-minded.
Yeah, man.
I'm close-minded. I was the one who had the idea of burying the vase in the desert. I'm the only one thinking of ideas here. Now you're all conspiring against me.
Oh, look at him trying to save Foz now.
Yeah. I mean, why don't you wipe that smirk off your Foz and respect Kevon's relationship with his grandmother? Okay? Let's just take care of this.
No, I heard it. Mother is mother, grandmother. You're not getting away with mother here, okay?
I'm Greek.
It's like, what does that have to do with anything?
Why won't you respect people's culture, man? Jeez.
Wow.
There's nothing about Greek culture and mothers. What?
Wow.
No.
This is insensitive.
Wow.
This is insensitive.
It's not insensitive.
Wow.
I just wanted to
culturally, familial, everything.
I mean, first the Parthenon, now this. You son of a bitch.
You're still hanging on to the Parthenon. You're not even from Greece.
Oh, I'm supposed to get over the Parthenon?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
I'm sorry, the Parthenon.
Okay, this has been
dude,
y'all. This has been real fun listening to y'all. I have more customers in the back. Do y'all want to pay for the vase or not pay for the vase?
We're all
Charlie,
want to pay for the vase.
We're paying for the vase. Okay.
Thank you.
Do you guys take Discover card?
Who takes the Discover card?
How about Vasa?
Okay. All right.
Legit.
Denied
Legit.
It's that kind of podcast.
Apparently it is.
Thank you for letting me get Vasa in there, guys. I love you. Thank you.
I mean, did we let you? Was that a choice on our part? I think it just came out, and we're like, we're done now.
Okay, Devon.
So is the question is, what's the crazy thing you've done to get out of trouble?
Out of trouble as a kid, yes.
Right.
So I think this is one. It was to get other people out of trouble, but
all right, I'll take it.
Altruistic. The Gandhi of children.
The time you got my dad out of jail. Yeah.
This is the Gandhi of stories that involves the abuse of a sacrament. No, when I was in 8th grade, me and a few friends of mine, we figured out which keys on the key rings of teachers were the school keys, because they were all had the same they're all Schlage manufactured keys.
Right, yeah.
And so over the course of a school year,
Schlage,
we started taking the keys off of key rings and put together a set of keys to the school. And we did nothing cool with it. It was go hang out on the roof, and read library books, kind of
drinking diet rights.
Compton. That's very cool.
There's a reason Compton's one of my best friends in the entire world.
But we were eventually caught because this guy Jeff broke into this is an Episcopal school. Broke into the cabinet with all the communion stuff, and yep, you guessed it, high schooler. He took the wafers, and we got busted. And we all turned "What were you doing?" And he was like, "I was hungry." Okay, you're not in there defending us.
Right.
So 2 of us had figured we were going to be going to a different high school. This is one of those K through 12 schools. So we're like, look, we will go in, we will take the blame. So we go in, take the blame. Look, we're transferring out. We're going to be gone. We're going to be out of your hair. So don't worry about it. Can we just say we're the worst kids in the world and send us out on our way? And they're like, okay, great. So I never told my parents this happened. And then I never got around to telling them that we should probably send me to a different school. And so they registered me for that school. And I show up on the first day of school, at any moment, I will get expelled. And that was what the next 4 years felt like.
Well, you know what? If they ever called you on why you needed an explanation for stealing the wafers, you go, well, explain to me transubstantiation.
Right, yeah.
We'll go from there.
Do that.
Yeah, it wasn't people yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's not Soylent till you say the magic words over it. Spoiler alert.
Oddly enough, my story is also school related. I think we may have a pattern here. The biggest thing I ever did to get out of trouble, well, I mean, it was lie, but like the biggest lie, I never did like anything too crazy, I suppose. I did have a fun like ditching school phase in high school, which was fun. So I didn't think they would notice that I was gone. I ditched like 3 weeks of school in like ninth grade, right? Yeah. And they were like, "Hey, what happened to you?" I came back one day and they're like, "Where have you been?" I was like, "Oh, you didn't hear?" And they're like, "We're gonna have to like expel you or suspend you or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, I moved. I went to another school." And they said, "What?" I said, "Oh, I live with my." And by the way, I'm at the school I was ditching. Yeah, I went to another school for like 3 weeks because I thought I was gonna live with my dad, but I'm not. So I'm back with I'm back here. And they were just like, "Oh yeah, childs of divorce. That's a horrible thing." Well, you know what? Just let us give you some reports and we'll get you caught back up. We're really sorry to hear about that. Just go back to class and boop, boop, done.
I mean, that is the bed in a bag of excuses because it's got everything that you need right in there. Where once you're like, "It was my dad," they're not going to be like, "Oh, well, where's the paperwork?" They're going to be like, "Yeah, that explains the paperwork. Yeah, right. That's why we didn't hear anything." I feel like the level of responsibility for dads is so criminal today, much less 20 years ago. Yeah.
And you guys know my dad from the stories I've told.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? It was the best, like, 7-week vacation I've ever had.
We'll give you a little highlight reel afterwards, Christine. Just links to all the best tidbits of Josh's dad stories.
But they never called. They never followed up. There was no like, okay, we'll just, follow up with your parents and just make sure.
No. They were just like...
No one ever called.
LAUSD all the way, baby. Like, what do you want? LA Unified.
That's amazing.
Super. So you're telling me that the reason why you need a makeup on this test is because on last Friday you were, and according to this note written by your father, you were abducted by aliens?
Yeah, Al Ian. Yeah, that's he abducted us.
Okay. And so you think that you should be able to retake this test that everyone else took, and I've already graded and handed back. That you should get this opportunity that I specifically said in my syllabus no one is getting it. And why, Brian, exactly do you think this?
Well, Mr. Farfet, like, the thing is, I've been abducted. So, like, how many children do you know have been abducted?
I mean, I can honestly say none, mostly because I've never heard that, and I'm putting this in air quotes, word before.
Okay, Brian, welcome to my office. As you know, I am the school counselor, and your teacher, as a mandated reporter, had to tell me that you were abducted.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is my teacher a teacher or a reporter? Because that wasn't on the syllabus, and in which case I feel that's a
Let
big
me back up. Mandated
interest.
reporter means
journalism.
He is looking out for your best interest, and he's legally obligated to inform us if anything is going awry in your personal life, so we can help you out. And so I'm just here to do a little follow-up, a little intake on this abduct. Are we sure this is not a facade of something else going on?
A facade of what?
No, facade. It's not. Did you say facade?
You're a facade. It's. Can I ask you a question? By the way, this is great.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah, let's dialogue. Let's talk. Let's get your feelings out here. That's what I'm here for.
If
I'm open
Mr.
to what you have. I'm here to listen to you. I am a vessel of just intaking information from you to help you process and get through your day. I am here to facilitate anything that you need. So you come to me, and I am here for you. Come at me.
Well,
anytime you're ready, you can just unload on me.
I guess my
Nothing
first
to
question.
say. It's go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to be quiet. Go ahead.
I guess my first question would be: is there a chair besides these beanbags? I can't seem to get out of it.
I like to keep things loose. I don't want you to feel formalized, and
I feel trapped.
That's
like
why.
I was abducted.
Hold on 1 second. No, actually, I will handle the come-ins. Yes.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to bring you your bongos. I know you like to have these in session.
Thank you. These are the talking bongos. So whenever you feel like you're ready to talk, just hold on to the bongos. Okay. And make sure you speak and play them in rhythm, because that's what we're looking for here.
I feel like if Mr. Farfit had my best interest in mind, he would not let me get abducted. But I did, which is why I was gone.
Okay. May I? The bongos, please. Thank you.
Bongo.
It was my understanding that you were abducted off of school grounds at a time not in his class. Am I incorrect?
Bongo. I was abducted from all the classes for...
So what you're telling me is, Brian, you can't take today's test because you have a repetitive stress injury from all the bongo playing during the 3-hour conversation you had with Counselor Wilson.
Whoa. Talk with your bongos, man.
I steadfastly refuse, and I will call my union rep. I will call my union rep. No, nope. This is what we struck for. Nope.
Bongo.
I am not contractually obligated to play percussion. Okay, I am not.
It's not percussion. It's a bongo.
No. Okay.
Am I wrong?
Huh? No.
Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. You are not wrong.
Just like I wasn't wrong about being abducted.
So, as a music teacher, I've literally never failed anyone ever.
Say it in bongo.
I'm sorry, you can't see that I'm playing the bongo as I'm saying this right now? Let me say it again. As a music teacher, I've literally never failed anyone ever. Paradiddle. But not being able to grasp the idea that bongos are percussion. They're drums. They're little tiny drums. Or big tall drums. Hello.
So why don't we just call them that? Why don't we call them little baby drums?
A bongo
little
player.
baby drums.
Not a Jamaican robot. Look. I went to my grade book and it actually only has the letter A. So I'm having to just erase parts of it to make up. Excuse me?
You're a teacher. Say it in xylophone.
Those are marimbas. But you ready? Here we go. I went to my book and it doesn't have the letter F. It just has the letter A. And back and forth. And there we go. So
it sounds like you've been abducted too.
Hi, Brian. My name is Mrs. Timmerman. I'm from the NSA. I would like to investigate and talk to you a little bit today about your abduction. It has come to our attention that you have been abducted and were abducted on April 13th, and you were gone for 7 weeks. Is that correct?
I mean, I was at home for 7 weeks. Yeah,
Okay. My notes are saying here that there has been an abduction. We're going to need to take you to Washington, D.C. We're going to need to put you under surveillance.
I have school. I can't go.
No, you have abductions.
So, Brian, welcome back to the counseling office.
Hey,
I see
bongo.
You are back, and the only note you have for your your absence is this letter from the NSA.
Yep.
And I'd love to read it, but most of it has been redacted.
That's what I have been trying to say. I was redacted.
Legit.
I love the image of him with like small black rectangles tattooed across most of his face.
I was in Memento, but all.
I was so overjoyed that the NSA called them on it that I was going to come back in as that teacher and happily play the bongos, being like, "Take him for as long as you want."
I will have you know that as the editor who has to do the Foley work, I literally, while that scene was going, went on Amazon and bought myself a pair of bongos.
Perfect.
Well, we're glad you're listening and focused on the improvising.
Yeah,
That's right.
This is why we're brothers, Jett.
Proud home of expensive space work.
I'm focused on the work I have to do next week on this one.
Okay, I thought of a story.
All
I
right.
thought of a story.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Before I can even ask, thank you.
So this is, I tried not to get in trouble with this one, but you'll see how it goes. So I grew up half the time in Atlanta, and when I was in, I guess, high school, we would have these big 4th of July parties, and everyone would go down to the lake, and everyone would be looking up at the fireworks, and there were barbecues going on everywhere. And anyway, at some point in like 10th grade, I had decided that this was the opportune and most perfect time while everybody was looking towards the sky to just turn around and raid every cooler in the neighborhood. So my best friend and I took a backpack and just loaded it up with like Pabst Blue Ribbon, you know, all the beers we could, and we took it back to my house. And I was like, let's get a cooler and go down to the 18th green, and we'll just like sit on the golf course, and we'll just like drink these bad boys. Which is exactly what we did. And no one was the wiser because everybody was just, it's just like a neighborhood party, and you're just out until whenever, and it's no big deal. Yeah. So we go down there, we go with this like red 70s red cooler. We like have the beers, we put all the empties back in the cooler. We're like stumbling home back to my parents' house. He's sleeping over, my other friend's sleeping over. I'm like, let's just put it under the bushes. No, I don't know anything. Put it under this bush, and it's dark. We're putting it under the bush, and it's fine. And the next morning I wake up, and I'm like kind of stumbling downstairs, and I look out onto the porch, and on the sill of the porch, like the balcony of the porch, are just every single empty can lined up on the porch. And I was like,
what?
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh God. Oh no, they know. And so I like ran up to my room, and I like wake up my friend, like, Brian, wake up, they know. And he's like, what do you mean they know? I'm like, I don't know how they found it. I don't know how they found the red cooler. Well, the red cooler was not under a bush. It was under like a branch with maybe like 5 leaves. But
How could they know?
How could they have found it? And the next day, and I was supposed to see like an Allman Brothers concert that night. Like I had plans, like things were going, and I came back down, and I was like, and my parents are just like, wow, you really did it this time. And I was like, everything was canceled. I was grounded. And my dad's like, it's not even that you did it. It's that you were so dumb to put the red cooler just under the branch. Like, why? And I was like, I know. It was a bad one. I know. I'm sorry. I was dumb. I'll be better next time.
As a parent, that is like, there's so many times I want to say, like, look, it would have been so easy for you to get away with this.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't have to be having this conversation.
Yeah. No,
I can't. I'm not allowed.
Also, frequently as a parent, it's just a case of like, I am more disappointed by the lack of self-preservation techniques than the actual crime.
Quick, Jett? Can I defend you real quick? So,
all right,
Jett and I, we talk to each other every day about the pod, about life, about how much we love each other, all this stuff. And there was a streak. And if we need to edit this, Jett, tell me. But there was a time where there was some friction between
edit
Jett
this part out, please.
And his kid, right? And he was just telling me what's going on and how it was this and how it was that. And I was like, you know what? I think you're being too tough, Jett. I think you're giving the kid a hard time. I think it's you. It's not the kid. And he's like, okay.
And Josh, I will say, you know exactly what you're talking about because you don't have a child of your own. So nobody gives better parenting advice.
As I go to hang out with Jett and one of his kids, the lack of self-preservation in this kid, in the lies that he told the abdacted lie. He thought the abdacted lie was going to work. And I'm like looking for any angle to defend this kid. And he's not giving me anything to work with. And I just, at one point, I tell the kid, just 1 second. And then I hug Jett and it's not your fault. It's not your fault. He's like, you see what I'm working with? I go, I'm sorry, man. You deserve better.
I never cried so hard in my life.
It was so therapeutic for both of us. I had never felt so close to you.
I have this vision of you as an overwhelmed public defender. A basic alibi. That's all you're being asked to provide here.
I was hoping for it, and it never came, man.
The thing I always say to my students is I'm like, listen, just don't get in trouble because you're not good at being bad. Right. It's not going to be like an episode of Scooby-Doo where we're putting clues together and it's like, oh my gosh, we figured it out who it was. It was the meddling kids. It's always like, oh yeah, you did it. You clearly did it. And here is the vast amount of evidence following you behind. Right, yeah, the number of times when kids tag things in bathrooms with their own names. Oh my God.
Address.
Just
how did you ever trace it to me?
Yes.
And but it's not just kids. My uncle Jerry, who's now has since died, but he was a union rep, and he would say, like, not in front of, like, when he was doing the working it out with the company, but they'd come to him after they were fired or whatever, and my uncle Jerry would be like, "You're right. You shouldn't have been fired for negligence. You should have been fired for stupidity." Because they were just not well thought out ideas, like just doing dumb shit. He's like, unfortunately, they can't fire you for being stupid, but they should be able to.
Yep. Yeah, this is an extreme example of this, but like again, for adults, I had I'll keep out specifics, but being in IT, I have to manage all sorts of computer systems for different, and it used to be different clients. And we had one client where they onboarded a new employee, and I was always involved with the onboarding process, setting up accounts and computers and whatever. And it was like 3 weeks later that this person was being offboarded. And I was like, oh, well, what happened? And they said, he started asking people if they had kids and then asking them if they wanted to make some money having people hang out with their kids.
Crickets.
Burn it down.
What kind of human being thinks they can ask anyone that, and also continue to get away with that? Like that was the level for me. It was like, of course it's horrifying, but also, if you're the kind of person who is doing such a horrific thing, how do you just say that out loud to your coworkers?
Yeah, Dracula doesn't get a vampire tattoo.
Yeah,
that says blood drinker, do not wake before sunset.
Yeah, and Nazis don't get. Oh, actually, they do get those, don't they?
I'm gonna hard pivot back to the original story.
Thank you.
Super.
So, what you be telling me, Captain, is you buried the treasure behind that tree?
We had to bury the treasure behind the tree.
Yeah, but you see, Captain, what we're seeing here is a problem is that the treasure ain't actually buried, Captain. It's merely more obscured than buried.
No. It's buried. No one can see it. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. We have bigger things, bigger fish to fry here. Okay?
Captain, I've been noticing the fact that you even be pointing right over there. The fact that you can point to exactly where the treasure is shows me that it's not particularly hidden. I mean,
oh God! Ow! I just tripped over that fucking treasure chest.
Jeez, Captain, you didn't even close the lid. The glimmer off the gold blinded him. Oh, you got his good leg too. It didn't even trip over the peg one.
Look. No one's going to see it. All right. It's over there. We'll kick some dirt over it. It'll be fine. We have to get onto the Cook Islands. You don't understand.
Kicking dirt over it would be a good start, Captain. I agree. Yes, okay.
Ow, Captain, I got sand in my eye.
Listen. I have too many problems and not enough solutions. I need someone to kick more dirt over the treasures. I need someone else to bring up more of the rum. I need more of the rum.
My peg leg will kick.
Put it in my backpack. Okay?
Excuse me. Is anybody here the owner of the slightly dirt-covered treasure chest? It is sitting in a handicap parking space,
Oh.
and we're gonna have to tow it.
Real fast.
Captain, you didn't even look to see if there was a sign on the tree. It's
Rufus, get the chest. Put us underneath it. We got to go. Someone shove off.
I got it. No, I got it. I'm grabbing.
And also,
You're
You
lucky
want
I didn't have that ticket with me.
no one, no you, and you, and you. No one is going to the Allman Brothers Merry Band tonight.
no.
Okay?
Come on.
Now you've all lost privileges.
Captain, no, but Captain, they're the most harmonic twins in all the 7 seas.
Very long beards. Very
Yes.
long.
That's why I grew mine, Captain. I wanted to be just like Greg. Oh, Captain, please.
I got Hep C.
What if I
because of
swab all
him.
the decks? What if I swab the deck, Captain?
No,
I'll even.
you're fired and grounded, and someone needs to bring me a cigarette.
Oh, fine. Okay. All right, Captain.
Marble
Here.
Red, Captain.
Thank you. Now listen,
Cap-
we have
Captain-
many miles to go before we sleep. I need to get to the next lake in a boat. Okay? We're going to be shooting off the
Captain,
powder kegs. I need
not be
everyone
meaning
who's
to-
looking up, and then we will be getting the rest of the moonshine from all of the other boats. You understand? So somebody
All right,
shove
yes.
off and try to just shove the boat into the next lake.
All right, you bunch of scallywags. I don't want. We'd better not sound mutinous. So everybody, raise the mizzenmast and get ready to sail to the nearest lake, just like the captain said. And we not be questioning anything, or else we not be going to summer nights of sound. You hear me? So let's
I
just
call
listen
shotgun.
to the captain.
I call shotgun.
Yo ho ho.
All of
All
you
right.
are incompetent, and I can fire you for your stupidity, but I can fire you for not getting us to the next lake. So shove off or shove it.
All right, raise anchor.
This is my favorite. Raise an anchor.
And tally-ho!
Heave ho!
Let's go!
Ah, right into the tree. Damn it.
Legit.
Legit.
Lake pirates.
Nothing better.
The most fearsome of all.
It's what I wanted to be when I grew up.
That was the most showered group of Allman Brothers fans, by the way.
Oh, painful but true.
You know, anything goes after 90 Days at Sea or halfway through an Allman Brothers song.
Actually, that reminds me, like, because there's this like moment. My favorite like version of that issue is the moment where you know you're going to get in trouble, but you know you're going to be caught. But there's a time period between when you know and when it happened. When I was a kid,
golden period.
Yes.
Yes.
we had one of those like above ground, like 3 foot above ground pools
Schrodinger's
in the
trouble.
backyard.
Yeah.
And then we had a younger brother who like still like had a little like kiddie pool. And so my sister and I had this brilliant idea that we were gonna like our parents were gone. It was the 80s, so we were, each other's babysitter. And you're not allowed to go in the pool while the adults aren't here. We're like,
This
it
is true.
wouldn't
I can verify
technically be
this.
going in the pool if we put the kiddie pool in the pool and then we just sailed around in the kiddie pool. Then it's technically not in the pool, and that worked until the kiddie pool sank to the bottom of the pool, and then it has thousands of gallons of water on top of it, and we are like, our ages together is 12, like.
But if you're still inside the kiddie pool, you're still inside the kiddie pool.
Well, yeah, that's true. We are underwater inside the kiddie pool. But this is at like 11 in the morning, and our parents aren't going to get back until like 6 o'clock at night. And the next like 7 hours, we cleaned everything in the house. We did every like possible good thing you could do. We're at home, like we're sitting home watching Mystery on PBS. And no, yeah, we were not able to talk our way out of that very obvious crime.
A sudden tornado threw the pool into the pool.
Yes.
That's great.
you had to have been looking at the time. It was real quick. Disappeared fast.
I think the pool had a baby.
Yeah, we shouldn't have left the kid in the pool. That was the That was our real falling out point.
Before yours, Josh, I want to jump in here real quick because we do, of course, have to pay the bills. And since we don't have our co-host to bring us the sponsor for this week's episode, Steven was nice enough to procure this one for us.
Double.
Yeah. This is something I talked with the folks at Smarter Image, and they had this product that they're trying to look to move. Let me find where I put the file, and I will load that up.
Great.
Hey everyone, you looking for the perfect entertainment? Well, try ChatterBox. It's the box that talks. It's got so many words. It never stops. It always talks. It's like sitting next to the person on the plane who's got so much to say. All day. It can't stop. It won't stop. And the great thing is, even when it runs out of batteries, it switches to solar. Even when it switches to solar, it can run off the wind. And even when it runs out of wind, it can run on your wishing for it to stop. But it'll never stop. Remember the Micro Machines guy? It killed him. Yes, it's the cause of death for John Machida Jr. And remember, the other thing about the ChatterBox is the more you want it to stop, the more it digs into the uncomfortable truths. The more you want it to stop, the more it pries into the dark parts that you don't want to accomplish. Remember all those things when you wonder, hey, I hope no one ever asks me about that? Well, ChatterBox knows. ChatterBox knows it all. ChatterBox will figure it all out. So get ready for those dark corners to be explored with ChatterBox. Ever had someone ask you which of your parents you wanted to die first? ChatterBox will. So remember, the great thing about ChatterBox is there are no refunds. Because the fun is in no refunds. ChatterBox, it never stops.
It sounds like a great deal for people that need that, but my brain is already doing that for me 24/7. So
it really feels like
especially when I'm trying to go to sleep.
It really feels like they've outsourced anxiety.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're going for here.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys are into that because I told them to pay us just in ChatterBox subscriptions. So we all have 212 lifetimes worth of ChatterBox subscriptions.
Yeah, I love a redundant system.
Yeah, I was looking at the subscription form, by the way, and it looks like they come in, libertarian, crypto, and you know who they should get rid of? Can I send this back?
No refunds.
I signed the documents.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't want it.
Well, and that's the thing is our guests always get the sponsor.
Okay. No, thank you.
All right. It's gonna be awkward when that driver shows up.
You know, it actually reminds me a lot of my son, ChatterBox. Which never stops talking. I have two younger kids, and talk about getting in trouble. Their favorite thing to do is to tell on each other. And sometimes,
I'm glad we got here. Yeah.
Yes, classic. And it always, of course, whatever the thing is, always happens whenever I've just got my back turned. You hear a smack, you hear a cry, you know, and I have no idea what's really gone on. So I've resorted several times to, all right, stop. Let me tell you something. There are cameras all over this house. Okay? So you can either tell me the truth right now, or I can roll back the tape. Would you like to decide? And they're like, I don't. They look at each other like this, and I just take my phone, and I'm just like, okay, I'll consult the cameras. And I just start doing things. There's nothing on my phone.
I'm like, just Wordle.
I'm just doing things, and they're like, okay, I hit him. And I'm like, thank you for telling me.
In their defense, I almost broke just when you did that. Do you want me to? I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. That face and that voice were enough. I was terrified.
Yeah. And you are adequately preparing them to live in the real world.
I mean,
it's accurate.
Yeah. Don't actually. You can't do almost anything anymore without someone's fucking ring, CCTV, whatever, catching you doing something.
Cell phone,
so
whatever.
don't be an idiot.
Right. That's the episode's title.
Don't be an idiot.
Speaking of being an idiot,
I think that's most episodes' titles.
The one thing I for the most part, when I got in trouble, I just accepted it because I was Catholic. I felt like I had it coming, so I deserved it, and I never fought back. But there was one. It's probably I'm 17 years old. It's 1987.
No.
This
You
comic
look great.
Also,
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
flashback to one of his useless talents from a prior episode. Go
It's
ahead.
the opposite of Christine's game. Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're gonna be posting this on a neighborhood bulletin board.
We're having a party, right? It's a bunch of lifeguards. I was a lifeguard when I was a kid. Bunch of lifeguards having a party. I'm literally the only person of color there, right? For some reason, the cops are called. I think somebody's car got hit while it was parked out there, and so they called the cops. And the cop comes zipping down the street, like literally doing 60, like on a side street. And everybody starts screaming, yelling, like, yeah, like to let him know that the house is here. And he locks up his brakes and gets out and goes, hey, you don't have to fucking scream at me, everybody. And he just comes at everybody. And I'm like, whoa. Dude, you need to calm down. And then he starts talking to me about what he's going to do. I'm like, well, you can't do that because you have... And he's like, oh, yeah, well, what law school did you go to? I'm like, probably the same one you went to. I don't know if you guys know this, but I have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, not
Yeah,
talking
with authority.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And especially, like, with authority, I have a little bit of a deal. So one of my friends took me back in the house. And so then, we're all having a good time. Again, we're 17. We're drinking, having a good time. And you know that cop knock that they all do, how they knock on the door like they're trying to take the fucking door down, right? Mm-hmm. So there's this bam, 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 bam. And we're all in the living room, right? So which is right off of the main drag where the door is, right? And so I know it's a cop, right? So I hightail it out of there, right? And then I see, they let the cop in. I scurried up the back porch and hopped on the roof. And it's got a skylight on it. So I'm watching this all unfold, right? I'm sitting in the skylight. And the cop comes in, and he's still being a dick about everything, like just yelling at people. And they're like, I don't know where he is. And they're like, and this is what he said. He goes, where's that black guy with the afro? Dude, 1987? I don't remember ever having an afro. But anyway, this is who he's looking for, right? And I stayed up there, and it was hilarious too because I could read the whole thing. It was like a silent movie. I couldn't hear anything, but the cop was yelling at people, and they were all like, "I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what happened." They went around the room, and they come to my buddy Ruben, and by this point, everybody saw me in the skylight, and Ruben's really drunk, right? And so they tap him on the knee and like do the old point up at the ceiling, and Ruben goes, "Hey, boozer!" and points up there, right? And the cop had no idea what my name was. He just thought he was just yelling boozer because he was drunk. Anyway, long story short, the cop finally left, and I got to come down, and I became the hero of that party.
I will say, no offense to present company, I don't see color, but as a fellow person of color, I knew that you were the only black person at that party. Once you said they let the cop in, I was like, excuse me, sir, you're going to have to show a warrant or some sort of probable cause if you're going to cross this threshold because my mama did not raise any fools.
I'm so glad we've gotten to this point of the episode where not only are we sharing stories, but we're sharing cop stories. This is great.
Oh, yeah.
Can I share my cop story? Are we
do better? Yes.
Please do.
So, I just want to preface with me. I know I'm an idiot, and the other one. This is a great story about my dad, so we can bring him back.
I knew the dad was going to be involved in the story. I wanted him to be involved.
You said cop.
Yeah.
It was summer of 10th grade, and it was a great day. I had just ordered a small cheese pizza from Amici's, all for myself, watching Little Nicky on the 42-inch big screen. And
it's really dates it.
4th of July had just ended, and I was like, I have nothing to do. I'm going to light some fireworks in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And the type of fireworks that are in Santa Clarita, or if you go to Fillmore, are like the Whistling Pete's and the big ones that shoot big sparks, and the like M80s and the bottle rockets and just the real obnoxious ones. So I'm firing off like Whistling Pete's and these little M80s, which is a quarter of a C4, and it's just big noises. Big noise. I'm doing this for like an hour in the backyard on a Tuesday during the day. So, yeah.
During the day, so you couldn't even see them.
I'm an idiot. So, you hear that, right? I go, oh, fuck, it's the fuzz, right? I open the door. He goes, it's a cop, right? He's like, this is the fucking house with the fireworks, right? I go, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, he's like, you show me where the fireworks are right now. I'm like, oh, yeah, they're over here.
They're in the sky. They're in the sky.
We had, like, my dad had a stash of, like, the really big fireworks.
Oh.
And I go, oh, look, we have them right here. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. They're the real big ones that do explode in the sky. And he goes, let me see them. And he grabs, like, 2 of them. He fucking puts it on the ground and he lights them.
Shut up.
Yeah. And I go, oh, what are you doing? He's like, it's the only way to get rid of them.
Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
So then he goes,
And do you have any drugs?
No, wait. No, you can't do this. I have to finish the story. He goes, do you have any more? And he's cussing at me. Do you have any more fucking fireworks? I go, no, officer. He's like, good. Let that be a lesson to you. I didn't want to take you in. And he leaves, right? And like, so then I have to explain the missing fireworks to my pop. And I go, hey, something happened today. And he's like, what happened? I go, the cops came here. What? Like, just eyes this big. I said, yeah, I was lighting fireworks. I was bored. And he's like, where did they go? What did they say? And I go, well, I showed him our secret stash and he lit them. He goes, okay, but he didn't see like a box on the side of the house, right? I go, no. Why? He goes, don't worry about it. The fireworks are fine. You're okay. So then that Friday, my Uncle Stu comes by. You know, he's like a family friend. He's not by blood. And he comes in. They're drinking because we're the type of household that has like a bar in the house. Mm-hmm. And they're talking. They're pretty deep in. And Stu's like, oh, okay. Well, hey, I'm gonna pick up those guns. You have the guns, right, Scott? And he's like, yeah, side of the house, man. I was like, we have guns. What are we doing? He's like, yeah, they're Stu's. I'm holding them for him. And they're like those big, like AK style boxes. Like those got out of the house, no problem. So yeah, I was a front for my dad, and I guess that's the biggest thing I did. Did I answer the question correctly?
This episode escalated quickly.
Yeah, we recently had me playing emergency podcast lawyer in a prior episode. I'm going to hop in here again as a preface to the quick thing I'm going to say. When my brother passed away, no. When my brother passed away, we in his attic, he apparently was holding firearms for someone who will remain nameless, and that person who doesn't exist and also will remain nameless came to the door and was like, this is a difficult time, and also I have an awkward question to ask. And we had to be like, oh yeah, we haven't been up there, but hey, all right, okay, yeah.
Perhaps we shouldn't be the ones to ever know what was up there.
Yes. Super.
So, Kevon, if I'm hearing this correctly, cremains are supposed to be gray. Why is this white powder that I'm vacuuming up right now?
I mean, okay.
Huh?
So
you just want to tell me because some got in my nose and I'm pretty fucking jittery right now, and I think the rest of us are pretty fucking wired too. So the sooner you just want to tell us, the sooner we can just drive out to Vegas and we can be okay.
I mean, Grandma was into some stuff, and those cremains are probably, tainted. It's all Grandma's fault. I'm just saying, Grandma went to a lot of Allman Brothers Band concerts, and her blood was pretty much like 3/4.
I am
cocaine.
Flying right now.
Yeah,
I am high as fuck, but I also feel a little osteoporotic now. This is not the greatest combination, but
now that you mentioned it, I feel osteoporotic too. Yeah.
Can we maybe wait to have this conversation until after she's done ringing us up?
Yeah, y'all, are you paying cash? Because I do not take this debit card.
I mean, I
got Diners Club. You got Diners Club?
You know what? I'm not. Would you take maybe a bindle of pharmaceutical grade cremains?
Could I interest you in Diner's Club?
I mean, okay. I'll take your fucking cocaine cremains.
Great.
Give me a
Great,
bag of your
great.
cocaine gourmets and we'll just call it a day. Okay?
Okay.
Cane
all right.
cremains.
Two birds with one stone.
Cocaine cremains.
Guys, I need to hear whipping post like 47 more times.
Legit.
I fucking love that song, by the way.
Classic for
And
a
I think
reason.
that's how you end an episode of the Super Legit podcast.
I love you, Dad.
Thank you, as always, to Matt Walker for our intro and outro music. Every scene you heard today was improvised on the spot, along with some ads, and edited for your comfort. Ugh, no, this is
our
not a
comfort.
comfortable one at all.
I mean, yeah.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's a chunk in there that's going to get edited out for someone's comfort.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
The audience will never know what we had to remove from this episode. If you're loving what we're doing, pause real quick and write a 5-star review before you close the app, and tell a friend about us. If you want to submit your own question for the show, PM or tag us on Instagram, Facebook, or Threads, or email contact@superlegitpod.com. Tonight's regular cast included Josh Spence, Sean Michael Boozer, Stephen C. James, and Chris Compton. And our special guest for this week's episode was Christine Lakin. Christine, before we go,
Such a
is
treat.
there
Such a
somewhere
treat.
people can follow you online? Anything you want people to look out for, listen to, watch, promote?
Sure. You can follow me on Instagram at YoLakin. And I also have a podcast with Stacey Keenan. We do a deep dive back into Step by Step. It is called Keenan and Lakin Give You Deja Vu. You can find us everywhere you find your podcasts. And we are just starting season 2. So check it out. Thanks.
Congrats.
Post a link in the show notes to that one. Thank you, Christine, and thank you, everyone, for joining me for this wonderful episode of the Super Legit Podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. So fun.
Jett,
Yeah.
Jett.
Yeah. What's up, Josh?
I just wanted to say these last 2 pods without Michael Hyman have been really fun. Can it just be us?
No. We're terrible at this without him. We barely made it through, but the thread of our I can't even remember what the analogy is, the metaphor for this one. That's
don't either.
how much I need Michael Hyman here as my co-host.
We should probably tell him we miss him then, huh?
Can we do that off recording?
Earthlings, we have abducted your Michael Hyman.
I don't believe anything's on. Oh my time, I kicked the door on its hinges just so I could move on. Oh, oh,
Oh, and that's our show. Oh,
Compton for the win, baby.
there it is.
Bring it around, my
The
friend.
callback king.
I saw no way out on that one.
Yeah,
That was great.
yeah, no.
I was wondering what was going to happen myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
how will this play out?
God,
God,
oh my
that was
God.
a great episode, guys.
That
That
was
was real
fun.
fun.
Christine,
That was real
Thank
fun.
you
Yeah,
so
thanks,
much for
everyone.
joining
Thank you
us,
so much.
Christine.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Thanks for having you guys. That was really fun. I mean,
Oh.
now that I know how it works, it's, I had to just kind of watch for a minute, but it's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
It's super
Yeah,
fun.
you got to
It's
get
cool.
the feel for it.
Yeah, it's
We'd
great.
be happy to have you back in the future if you have time.
Thanks. Appreciate
I want
that.
to see more of your lake pirates
Yeah, let's get to the
sailing,
next
sailing
lake.
the 7 lakes.
That was awesome.
That is a spin-off podcast on its own.
For
Stand
sure. For
Yep.
sure. It's got like a Shogun quality to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Get that on
You
FX.
know
Yeah.
that captain has water skied behind a sailboat.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. In a baby pool, in a pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With a marble
dragged
red
behind the
hanging out of her
We
mouth.
call that the pool ducking. Yeah.
And that's
It is
the
vegetarian.
episode's other